Hello and welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today, I think the plan is just to kind of chill. We'll just play some Rush, see how we're feeling. We might be swapping our decks throughout the day, but the first deck we want to take a look at is going to be this, which is still just going to be the old Aqua Aggro deck. We have seen this deck doing quite a lot lately in tournaments, and we still think there's something here. This build of the deck is basically using all of our ways to cheat bodies onto the field. So we're using Seahorse Carrier, we're using the Sports Dragon combo, and we are using our Curry bots to try just make sure we always have plenty of tribute fodder so we can always do a double tribute every turn. And again, to try and facilitate that, we're playing an above average amount of tribute monsters, which can get a bit bricky, but it's usually fine. So this is what we're going to jam today. How is everybody doing? I see in the chat we have Ninjetti and Dragson. How are you guys doing? And we're just going to hop straight into a game, I think. Bottler works with the 2-month subscription. Oh, how you doing, Josh? Power move, eat their cards. I'm not sure I can do that. I'm not sure that's within my capabilities. Oh, I do love that the subscribe music that we get. Just some anime banger. Doing good, man. How are you? I am doing pretty damn good. I think the only thing I could say is like bad, which isn't even bad, is that we are having to wait an extra month before we get any new content for Duel Links, right? Which kind of sucks. I mean, specifically for the Rush Duels. Other than that, I have really nothing to complain about. Like, I've still been enjoying the game. I love the fact that Rush Duel is a thing on Duel Links. Like, there was so long, like a multiple year period where we were like, oh, we're just never going to get Rush Duel over here. We're just never going to get it. But, you know, we have it. It's not perfect, but it's damn good. Hunting for gems right now. Ah, yes. See, this is my second account that we're playing on right now. And this account, I think, has about 7,000 gems currently. So it's still a ways off. And that is one of the benefits to getting Rush Duel releases infrequently, is we do have more time to save up gems, which means theoretically we'll be spending less money to keep up with the game, which is pretty good. Although if you're someone that's just going to pay anyway, it is kind of a net negative, so... Ooh, okay. Right, we'll summon out the boy. We'll use the effect of Kuribot. Get back in my hand. Then we will simply... What do we want to end on? Yeah, I guess this is fine. Nah, that was actually a misplay, really, wasn't it? Because now we have to end on Seahorse. But that's also kind of fine. I also want a Seahorse in the grave. Minor annoyances. Right, summon out Carrier here. Activate the effect. Take this back. Summon out Thunder the Thunder. Activate Boogie Master and pitch. We'll then activate Thunder the Thunder and pitch. We'll then go straight to battle. Swing over. So we could have got another 600 damage in, I guess. But this is fine as well. Can I have some of that account gems? No, Dragson. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. Otherwise, I, as the streamer, would be asking you for gems. Come on. But yeah, my main account, I grinded a little bit too hard prior to Duel Links coming out. And I ended up with enough. I had 3 copies of every card in the game. And then still ended up with 999 gems. So now I've just got a load of wasted gems, which I've just had to spend on Speed Duel. Which is a little bit sad. We went a little bit hard, but that's fine. It's all good. We're never going to run out of gems is the main thing. Like, this second account is probably not going to be ready to, like, have every single card, but this second account isn't here to have every card, right? It's here to Maybe get some archetypes I don't really want on the main account so we can kind of split the load so I don't have to just spend money constantly throughout this game's life cycle. Well, we've already got one win under our belt. Now, it was against a dodgy psychic deck, so not anything to really write home about. I think here we're just going to go on the defensive, right? There's no reason to do anything else. Losing the Thunder here kind of sucks, but it's kind of whatever. Chances are we're going to be against Dragonic Resonance. That's the one. Dragonic Resonance. I always get confused between Pressure and Resonance. Oh, I say confused. I just forget which one's the skill and which one's the Wrath card. But yeah, we should be getting Roa towards the end of next month. So next month being tomorrow means maybe 3 weeks-ish till we get Roa. Which in itself is pretty exciting. Like, I'm pretty sure Wait, why didn't he attack? Where's my second tribute monster as well? What's this crap? Okay, well, we want to get a card out of our hand, so we always flip summon Thunder the Thunder. We activate the effect and pitch. Guess it really doesn't matter, does it? The moon. To weaken this. Then we will simply tribute 1, tribute 2. We'll go ahead and activate the effect of D and Keto. Then we'll flip, and I guess we'll just summon this. Now, what's in my go currently? We do have a Thunder, so if he does have... We want to keep this in hand, though. We're going to be a little bit greedy. We'll go straight to battle here. Now the question is, what do we think these are? Right, we'll swing with this first. So it was a 0 defender, so that's pretty cool. Which means this is probably not a 1400 defender. Which means we can get greedy and get him for 13. And then we pass. So we're at 7,000, so we're getting further and further away from the danger zone. Because against dragons, we always want to be above 48, because their little combo can just do 4,800 damage, which is pretty yikes, but nice 7,000, nowhere near 4,800. We're also set up quite nicely. We have the Seahorse in hand already, which means we can perform 2 tribute summons. And we've only seen 1 high-level monster so far in D and Keto, which means we should have 8 left in deck. So if we can draw 2 of them and no more than 2, we are in a really good position. We also don't really want less than 2, ideally. We definitely don't want 0. Bunker Strike with no effect because we don't have any monsters. I mean, 28, like, ain't great. I mean, it's put us into the danger zone, but that's also kind of fine. Oh, there's 2 monsters. So we don't have a Curry Bottom Grave, right? Just double checking that. Double, triple checking. So we'll start with Carrier. Activate Carrier. Bring back Lamoon. We'll summon Lamoon. Tribute summon the Mighty Dragius. Then we summon, activate the effect of Seahorse Carrier, take back Kanan. We'll summon Currybot. And our opponent will just scoop it up. There it is. But I wanted to keep doing my combo. How's it going, Sam? Hope you're having a lovely week off so far. As we jump back into another game. I assume you had a lie-in today. Yeah, I was literally just saying, slowly waking up later and later. What, you woke up at what, 10 o'clock today? Something like that? Leo Corporation. Nice. His hand's not bad. Obviously, turn 1, we don't want to have 2 big guys in hand because we can't capitalize it. We need stuff in the graveyard. Only just got up before 10 this morning. Need to make sure I stay a good boy and keep it to 9 at the latest. Otherwise, Monday is going to ruin me. Yeah, that's always the way, really, isn't it? There's no, like, really good way to do this. So we're just going to have to throw some of these cards away. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Go ahead and activate Dragius. Then I suppose we will just summon. Battle. So we have to kill one of these. So I guess we'll attack with this first, right? Okay, that's good. Then I guess we'll attack with this. There's a pretty good chance this beats it, which it does. And then we get him for the 25. Which is pretty nice. We've got an okay board. Like, it's not a fantastic board, but it's fine. We've got a graveyard set up. The only thing we don't have is... Well, actually saying that, we don't have a light normal. We've got a Seahorse carrier here and there. So our graveyard isn't set up that greatly. But this is still fun. We've got 2,500 damage in, so we've taken the life lead. This is probably Dragon Casters then, if he summoned that out. The old dealer. Oh, tribute for 7's Red Witch. No reason to summon this unless you're planning to use its effect. Unless you're just literally really trying to empty the hand. Oh, he is on SAR. Eh, okay. Do not see SAR very often. Especially in the old King of Games queue. Then normal summon Currybot. This has got to be another 1 tribute, right? Oh, that's painful. So he doesn't have any way to clear Dragius? Oh, I feel sorry for this guy. This deck outs Dragius so easily, but he's not found any of the level 6s that out it. Or his level 7 outs it. Now in your standard 7's XRO, these would both just be Recovery Force. Right, we'll start with Dragius effect. No, goodbye Dragius. There's no reason to hold on to these two whatsoever. We will tribute our 2 Currybot and get our big boy. And then, since we still don't have a normal engrave, we are actually just going to discard the carrier here. We'll go to battle and we'll swing. So he has got Phantom Bind. Not that it matters. We've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4? Well, this should just be game. There we go. I mean, it just goes to show that Dragius on its own just wins games, right? It's a really weird one. I don't know what we can do to, like, stop the Dragius menace. It's just so good. Especially with 6,000 life points. It just becomes so much stronger. It was plenty strong before. Hey Leviathan, thank you for the follow. That is a really cool emote, the Dino Dance, Twitch Global. I need to get some animated emotes of my own. Obviously I need to, you know, get more souls first, but the problem is I'm doing all my emotes at the moment myself, which means they're all shit. But yeah, how is it going, Leviathan? I'm going to assume your name is pronounced Leviathan. Like Leviathan without the H. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Again, a really weird hand. I mean, we have to get aggressive. We can't not. So we'll summon our 2 lowest attack. And then we'll tribute 2. I think we do normal summon this. This still kind of sucks because not being able to clear his whole board is always going to be terrible, right? There's a chance that this could have cleared, but then we just have to end with a 700 attack monster, which is also something we really didn't want. It's going well. Currently farming for an Infernity deck. Infernity. Now, that's an interesting one. Infernity is a deck I've never really gotten on with, but when I was trying to play it, I didn't have access to things like reasoning. And this was, again, in paper play, not in Duel Links. So I had to just try and use their own in-game mechanics to Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of a different one. I'm thinking of Infernoid. Infernity's the have no cards in your hand type, right? With Infernity Launcher and Archfiend. In which case, I've never played Infernity. But I have heard of it. I played against it a couple of times. Right, well, there's a Summon Skull. 3 million soft per once. 3 million soft once per turn effects go brr. Yeah. Yeah, I remember Barrier being completely bonkers. Is he gonna... He hasn't got another monster to summon. And he crashed into D and Keto. That's interesting. Well, we are in a fantastic position here. I don't think we want to use him. This is only the time we summon it, though. So we could go 1, 2, that. 1, 2... We can always end on a monster. So I guess we will just go for it. Summon out the Dragius, activate the effective Le Dragius. Summon Tribute 2. Summon out the Prima. Summon out Kanan. Activate Diva. We'll then fire off our skill. I would just like my 1,000 life points back. Activate the Dinky-O. Go to battle. We have to swing over this. Attack with our weakest. And then we get in for almost lethal. And then we pass. Literally this. I have always appreciated Infernity during the good old days, but Glad Beasts were a thing. What did Glad Beast hard counter Infernity? I don't think I played during that time specifically. I think that's when I was on my break, because I came back just after Edison format. Which I believe Infernity was still kicking around then? Or did Infernity not come out then? Oh god. Because Infernity got good when the Gold series released, right? With Archfiend in it. I think before that it was like a really weird promo. Let's have a gander. Let's have a Ganderino. Came out Gold Series 3, which was 2010. I don't know when Edison specifically was, like when the time period was. Go to about. What is Edison format? April 2010. So this would have come out just after Edison format. So yeah, this would have been when I came back into the game, I guess. But I guess just no one was playing it at our locals. Right, remembering which is being a terror to the format, but it was one of those two archetypes. Did he just summon 2 Dragius against me? I wasn't really paying attention, but I'm pretty sure I just got double Dragius. I mean, it doesn't matter. We've already won, but... Behold my power. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. I mean, I guess we just do this, right? There's no reason to get silly with it. And there's another win. One of those two archetypes. What, as in, it was either Glad Beast or Infernity was the Nightmare archetype. Because, I mean, Gladbeast was a nightmare quite a lot of the time, right? Let's have a look. Edison. Is this the Edison one? No, this one. Oh, no, it's gone. Event? Oh, TCG player, why are you getting rid of everything? Right, here we go. No, that's still not it. But maybe, here we go. Edison, New Jersey. Because that was the really cool thing with Edison specifically, was it was just such a diverse meta, which is why everyone loved it. Like, if we go through top 16 Edison, right? Quick Draw Dandy Warrior, then Doom Caliber Gadgets, Quick Draw Dandy Warrior, Caliber Cat, Flamvell Synchros, Prism Gladiators, Light Sworn Monarch, Quick Draw Dandy Warrior. Oh, obviously, you know, Quick Draw Dandy Warrior is coming up quite a lot. Ooh, this hand is pretty nasty, and not in a good way. Alright, Tribute 2. Activate the effect of Dinkito. We have to get one of these out of our hand. Go to battle, and then we just trade, I guess. It's not the best thing in the world, and maybe we shouldn't have traded, but if he has any way to beat it, that's definitely the right play. Machina Gadgets, Light Sworn Pure, Synchro Cat, Blackwing, Twilight, which is like Light Sworn plus like Chaos. Light Sworn again, Glad Beasts, Gravekeeper Burn. Like, there's so much. Okay, Torn is kind of fine. He is an SAR. We are only on turn 3, so we can't do a little search here. It comes down to how much damage do I take here. Because we're still kind of fine. We're going to lose a lot of life points either way. But if we're able to actually get our Dragius out, we're going to be okay. Ooh, this might be a lot of damage. We also have our graveyard semi set up. We just don't have Sports Dragon set up. How much are we taking here? 5,400 is a lot. That might be too much. And we might just be dead. But to be fair, we opened 3 high-level monsters. So what can you really do about that, eh? I mean, we might be able to stabilize. Ugh, that is the only one we didn't want to see. Well, we have to gain some life here. Otherwise, we're just straight dead. So we'll go ahead and use Cure Master Dinkito. Fire this off. And unfortunately, we do not have a way to summon out 2 of our guys. We just don't. So we'll just have to tribute these 2. Now, the issue here is, if we summon in attack mode, we do probably just die. Which means we have to do this, but that means he gets to keep a monster. But if he gets any level 6, he gets access to Seven's Road. So we're probably dead no matter what. Unfortunately, taking that amount of damage that early was just too much. Even though we've gained 2,000, it's still spellcasters, you know, and we bricked against them on top of everything else. I don't think that actually matters in the slightest, to be honest. Like, getting the extra Currybot to hand just doesn't mean anything. You had enough cards to do 2 tribute summons anyway, and your deck doesn't even need to do that. Okay, Splat is fine. It literally comes down to, does he have another monster that can kill this? That's all it comes down to. Which he should have with this hand. Like, we even know he's got a Currybot, right? So as long as he summons it in attack mode. Right, so he tributes these 2. Right, now if he summons another monster, we're dead. With 2 cards in hand, he almost guaranteed can. Yeah, let's just game them. We'll let him finish us off. Rather than just quitting out. Oh, he had the Pierce as well. Again, I really don't like this guy's deck, though. Like, I think the Dark Magician Girl and the Dark Magician is just a waste of space, and Pierce is like super greedy. It's like, and he's running 2 copies of Pierce as well, which means this guy just wants to like get really cheap wins. Like he'll lose more often because his deck's got a lot more bricks in it, but sometimes he'll just claim a win out of nowhere that he really shouldn't have. I mean, in that one we just brick, so there's nothing we can really do about that. I still think crashing ended up being the correct play because he could have outed our guy anyway, but we would have not taken as much damage, so maybe... It's a tricky one. Definitely a tricky one. Either way, we'll go again, and hopefully not open with 3 high-level monsters in hand. This time playing against someone from Australia. Oh, God. Once again, we have bricked. Things aren't looking good. Hey, Grand Harrier, thanks for the follow. How's it going? I mean, there's not a ton we can do with this hand, but we will do what we can. And that is summon out the Inkito and heal. With a little bit of praying. I kind of just love Infernity because it a lot of soft once per turns and it focuses on having no hand cards. Really good at removing my hand. I think that's a skill. That is a skill. Especially in Rush Duel. Actually very, very useful skill. Hey bro, how's it going, Grand Harrier? It's a shame you didn't do your tournament on Sunday. I was all excited for it. But obviously, no. If stuff comes up, stuff comes up. Ooh, this isn't looking good. Why is it we've bricked 2 games in a row and our opponent's got Dragius, Dragius, Dragonic Slayer, and Dragorite? He's got like full combo. Oh, this isn't looking good. How do we even make a comeback from this? We're heavily in the danger zone. He's already got a set card, which means it's probably Resonance. We do not have anything set up. Things looking rather bad. I think we're just dead no matter what. I mean, we'll play it out. Do what we can. I think we actually... Summoning either of these sucks. If I summon out this, I can clear 2, but my life points are really low. I think I'm dead no matter what, so I don't think it actually matters. We'll throw our skill down. Gain 1,000. Yeah, Infernity, Inferno. Send 2 Infinity cards from your hand to the graveyard, then send 2 Infinity cards from your deck to the graveyard. I mean, that's pretty cool. I'll be back next Sunday. Sorry, I set up my stream setup again. Despite the construction I've been going on for the DMW. It was pretty awful. Would have been worse than on the previous day. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it sucks when you've just got, like just stuff going on. He's got... This is the other issue now. He has... I mean, I have to attack, right? I can't not, but I'm walking into a Phantom Bind. But there's nothing... I can't not attack, because then he just uses Resonance and kills me anyway. At least we trade here. Alright, so my win con is he doesn't see any monster with more than 700 attack. There it is. Man. Alright, we'll surrender this one rather than spinning plates. But I had 2 games with 3 high-level monsters in our opening hands. It's really rough. So we were on a tear before that. We were on, what, a 10-win streak? Unfortunately. We couldn't do much off that, but that's fine. That is fine and dandy. Hey, Alex, how's it going, buddy? Hope you're enjoying your face emote. For anyone in the chat that doesn't know, that is what Alex actually looks like IRL. Waiting for a response. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, our opponent's connection is dodgy. Let's see what happens. That mean he is French? Well, I mean, you said it, not me. Yeah, I guess we take those. We didn't really get anything out of that, but sure, why not? I can set it because I'm French. Well, I'm going to take you at face value and just assume you're telling the truth. Man, French are always catching stray bullets. Poor French. It's because they're just too damn sexy, that's the problem. So everyone thinks it's fine to pick on them. Oh, we're against Chris, the king of game. And we guarantee this is not a Draconic Resonance player. Okay, 2 high-level monsters is kind of fine, as long as we don't draw a third. One more duel till I get 2 more packs. Nice. Man, I can't do that. I can't live from, like, pack to pack. I've always got to wait until I save up for a 10 pull. Hey, let's see what we get. Thunder the Thunder. Okay. We always summon Dragius here, which means I think we can either get out 2 monsters or just end... I think the play is just... Actually, since he's got a defense mode, what would he play in defense here? Because that could easily be his 1400 defender, in which case I do want to just clear his whole board. So we will do that. We're going to do this. We're going to activate. We're going to guarantee clear the whole board. It does leave us with less resources. But if that face down was a 1400 defender, then we get messed around if we don't do this, so... Is it a 1400? No, it wasn't. Feels bad. To be fact, I could write in French as proof, but Google Translate is the thing, so not really being actual proof. Yeah. My advice to people is always save up for sure. Yeah, I mean, that's always going to be the case, right? Because I think people have to accept that either they're going to be paying for packs with their time or their money. Yeah, you kind of have to pick one, right? I, for one, am more like, I'm quite happy to put the time in, especially in something like Duel Links where you can play it quite passively a lot of the time. I'm quite happily like, I'll watch TV on one screen and grind gems out on the other. But yeah, I always save up as much as I can. Let's see what our opponent does. We're taking a long time to draw a card. I don't think this could just be animation lag. But he's not getting a weird connection error symbol, so let's see what he's got for us. We also still don't know what he's on. This could be Dragoncasters. This could be Seven's Exile Road. This could be just a pile of stuff. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, after seeing Spell Archer, I am a little bit salty that I discarded. I mean, I would have had to discard anyway, right? No, I didn't. What did I do? How have I managed to have this many cards? Oh, because we milled one with Multi-Shot Dragon Dragius. Yeah, so it wouldn't have mattered either way. It would not have mattered either way. I'm just not thinking. Oh. And yet, ironically, not misplaying at the same time, so we'll count that as a win. What's going on here? Are we just perpetually stuck in the draw phase? Oh, there it is. Have they buffed Dragius so it just disconnects your opponents now? It's a hell of a buff if they have. I mean, yeah, sure. We'll take it. Why not? Hoping we get some banger games today. We've had a couple, but a lot of them have been kind of we just lose because we brick, or our opponent just bricks and we can't get anything off it. Secret effect of the card. Exactly. I mean, it's one of those things, right, where when I used to play Master Duel, a lot of the time, if you saw a floodgate, you would just immediately concede. And that was like the secret effect, right? It was like, you flip over Imperial Order, and your opponent is like, well, I am done. Goodbye, my friend. I have no longer wish to participate in this game. And maybe Dragius has a similar effect on people. Okay, that's a hand. That's a hand. So we can get everything set up in grave except for the curry bot, which is pretty good. We already have our Sports Dragon Slugger, which means we can get out 2 tribute monsters next turn if we do draw 2 of them. Set 3, probably going to be a dragon player. Ugh, unfortunately, that's not ideal. I mean, we still have like a fine play to make. It's just I would have liked to get my hand a lot more empty than it is. So we'll flip this up, activate the effect of Dragius, then I guess we'll just normal summon, straight to battle, we'll clean this out. So he has got the Phantom Bind, which is a little bit annoying because I have Aquas in the grave. Means he might be able to protect one of these. Well, the 0 defense ain't going to do anything there. And 1,000 is also going to be fine. What we can do, though, is get him for 25. And pass back. Floodgates in a best of 1, just too stupid. I mean, best of 3, you can side some spell and trap destroy, but in best of 1, not the same story. Yeah, I think, as well, it depends on what the floodgate is. I think some floodgates are a lot more egregious than others, right? Like, some floodgates read, you cannot win the game now, or if you want to win, you have to draw a very specific out. Whereas other floodgates are like, your job is now a lot harder. Deal with it. Well, there's Draconic Slayer. So if he summons another monster... why did it have to be Twin Edge? That's annoying. That means we're going to take tons of damage. And because we've got 3 cards in our hand, we only have 2 chances to draw into a monster that can out him. We've already seen 2 of our high levels, which means we only have 7 left in deck. We're only drawing 2 cards, and it's 1 in 3, like, are the odds that we get what we're looking for. I think the type of floodgate matters. Some of them are fine for a best of 1 because they have outs that should be naturally fit into most decks. Yes, I tend to agree. Why did he not use Draconic Resonance? Is he not on Resonance? Huh. Okay. How many dragons do we have in graveyard? We have 1. And he's given up. Okay. Okay. I guess we'll take that. You wouldn't think this was King of Games with how these games have been going today, but apparently it is. Yeah, I think for being precise floodgate monster can be the kaiju, but not all of them. But you have actually deck who plays kaiju in their main deck, but we still had only the Harpy Feather Duster. I mean, yes, I think it depends again, like what the floodgate is and what you're running, because a lot of decks don't want to be playing kaijus in the main, but depending on the format, sometimes it's a necessity, right? If your opponent has like a towers or like a floodgate monster, you've got to have a way to get rid of it. Kaijus are always going to be the way to do so. When it comes to something like Imperial Order, though, that is a very annoying floodgate. Because, one, there's a lot of decks that are spell decks. And even the decks that don't necessarily need spells to play, if they want to just get rid of it so that they can use their spells, you're now looking at, like, going into a monster that can pop back row, which can be awkward depending on the deck you're playing or the format you're in. Like, if you're able to just, like, rank 4 turbo out, you can get out, like, a Tornado Dragon and pop it, right? And that's kind of fine. It's whatever. I guess we're going to keep the Diankito in hand. We definitely want to clear the board. Question becomes, how greedy do we want to get with attacking for the 25? I'd really like to get the 25 in. So I think we are going to get at least a little bit greedy. Let's just hope this isn't... Okay, yeah, that's fine then. Is this a 14? No, it wasn't. We didn't want to attack the tribute monster with this 13 because it could have been Splat, who's got 1700 defense. Now, he misplayed with this meta with Kashtira and Pearly. People tend to run Kaiju. Yes. Definitely at the moment. That's the thing. I haven't played Master Duel in a while at this point. Like, I played it a ton when it first came out, which was, again, back when Imperial Order was legal. And the decks running around were, like, Eldritch. It was Drytron. They were, like, the two big Boogeymen decks you'd run into constantly. What else was good then? Tri-Brigade was really powerful then. And I was just trying to get by with my little Fluffle deck. Okay. I mean, this just outs everything we've got. Is this a... had to be a high attack monster as well. I say high attack, 13. I was hoping it would just be like a Wimp. I guess this would have been the worst one, Dark Sorcerer. Now, we take a lot of damage here, which is not ideal. Because this is exactly where spellcasters want us. They want us nice and low so they can finish us off. Unfortunately, we don't already have the graveyard set up for Currybot, which means we cannot get out both of our tribute monsters, which really sucks. This ain't looking good for us. Alright, we will go ahead and tribute these. Maybe it would have been better to summon out Prima instead here. I think it probably... Wow, but then again, it costs us the life points. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Try both of these two and get 1,000 life points. That might make the difference. So this clears this easy, and then I guess we want to clear that, because if he doesn't find... I mean, if he gets any 6, we're screwed anyway. We might as well use Thunder the Thunder, because keeping our Thunder the Thunder around means that's 1,300 damage blocked, rather than the 1,000 we get for discarding it with Diankito. Right, we're almost certainly dead. All he needs is any 6 or a 7's Road, and we're just straight dead. But we've done what we can. Let's see what he's got. I tried to replay after playing Rush. It's impossible for me, and I don't like one-turn game. Yeah, it's one of those things. I don't, like, actively hate Master Duel or, like, paper TCG. Like, I think it's fine. It's just, it's not a game I want to be my main game. That's the sort of thing I will go back and jam a few games every now and then. But it's not ever going to be like my, oh, this is the game that I play. I am a Master Duel player. And I'm always going to be, you know, a Rush Duel player that plays Master Duel occasionally. We are super dead, right? Let's see, that's 14. That's 11. And then 2,000 direct. I mean, we'll let him finish us off, because again, we'll let him have his moment. Ow. Yeah, it's always going to be a weird one. But I think there's always going to be this weird divide, right? Where people like their format and they don't like everyone else's format. And it's not because... or they like to shit on everyone else's format. And it's not because they actually hate that format. It's because they think if people like the other format, that other format will receive more support and more love. And then their format will get left behind. Which is kind of what we're seeing a little bit, I think, in Duel Links with Speed and Rush. Like, a lot of the Speed players are like, no, we don't want Rush because that'll take away from Speed, which is completely understandable. This is an awful hand. Thank you for the follow, British Honda. What do I even do with this? I don't even think I can play this, because if I summon this and I just draw one card, like, I can't do anything. So I actually have to pass turn 1. Now, this is always going to be the problem when running a deck like this, is we are running 9 high-level monsters. But we don't expect to see half of our high-level monsters in our opening hand. That, on the other hand, is quite unlucky. How's it going, British Under? Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Better than this game, at the very least. Mate, if he doesn't... Yeah, I was going to say, if he doesn't Tribute Summon, we have just lucked out. If he just, like, set 3 pass, we were going to be like, whew, dodged a bullet. Dragonic Resonance with just that on board means he's got another high level in hand. So this is nowhere near as bad as it could have been, but it's still pretty dire. Right, we need a normal summonable just to potentially play the game. Right, we did find one. Now, fortunately as well, we do have this nasty little bugger, which means we can... I mean, Prima's not going to be doing anything for us. Get another card out of our hand. Now we're going to go ahead and summon out the Dragius, because we really need to try and put pressure on ourselves if we actually want to try and win. And there's another high-level monster in the bin. Alright, we have to survive this turn. Bear in mind, he has a face-down card. So he could just have Dragonic Resonance into full combo into 4,800 damage. We can't do anything about that. If he doesn't, we might have a chance if we can draw a Seahorse Carrier. Tournament Organizer and Content Creators struggle under the current setup. Yes. I can definitely understand that. Like, even on some of my videos, I get comments of people asking me to do stuff for speed. And I'm like, I like speed, right? I play speed. But I'm not as invested in it. I'm not as deep into it, so I don't follow like what all the best decks are all the time, for example. Which then creates a bit of a weird divide. Okay, this is actually kind of okay. Again, it sucks we lose our guy and we're going to take another 2,000, but we have survived. So now if we can find Seahorse Carrier, we might be in an okay position here. And there's Seahorse Carrier. Alright, so now we can summon out 2 guys. Even if we get out one of these, it has to be the only other monster on the field, so that doesn't matter. If we summon out 2 guys and crash both of these, we can get 2,000 damage in. We need to get 2 Aquas into the graveyard either way. In order to gain our 1,000 life points. But does that 1,000 life points matter? Yeah, it kind of does. Alright, we'll tribute these 2. Go ahead and activate our skill. Throw both of these back in. Gain our 1,000. Summon, summon. Tribute summon. Battle, swing over this. And because there's no delay, this is almost guaranteed Dragonic Resonance, so we're almost certainly just dead here. You shouldn't have to, because that's not the lane you've chosen to focus on. Yeah, exactly. Started playing this game, and seeing a pattern. Speed duels, you know what the opponent will be summoning based on what deck they are playing, and rush duels, you need a balanced hand from the start to win. There's still a lot of luck. Is that about right? Basically, like, I would be lying if I said there wasn't a big luck element in rush, right? And I would say a bigger luck element than in speed. A lot of that is because of the small card pool we have at the moment. Right now, it comes down to like, oh, can you just summon out your hand, right? Can you steadily empty your hand every turn? Can you summon out tribute monsters every turn when you want to? If yes, chances of winning goes way up, right? If you just draw a bunch of high-level cards in your open, or you don't see any high-level cards, you're kind of just screwed. There's not really much you can do beyond that. When it comes to speed, I think you can tailor your decks a lot better, but that's because, again, 20-card deck plus skill means you can kind of smooth things out a lot better. Whereas 30-card decks with barely any cards feels a bit rough at the moment for Rush, so we'll have to see like how it develops in the future. But when we start having like proper spells and traps in the game, I think it will feel a lot better. Being honest, Duel Link doesn't have a lot of viewer, and most of them are there for Rush part. the game. And not there for the rush spot of the game. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine though, right? Like, I've always been a big fan of Duel Links, like just in general. Like, I played it when it very first came out. I absolutely loved it. Played it all the way through GX and 5Ds. Had a great time with it. It was very nostalgic. It felt really cool to like come back to it and play with like the old style of games, and having the skills, making some of the lesser used cards better was really cool, and obviously making some of the anime decks really, really cool. So I've always had a really big soft spot for it. It makes sense that people gravitated towards Master Duel when that came out, because that became like the premier way to like play Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess. And a little bit away from Duel Links. But Duel Links is still very, very cool, and it's still doing its own thing. And I've always really, really enjoyed that personally. And I know a lot of other people do as well. But I think it's always going to be one of those things where the physical game is always going to be the majority of people's focus. And Master Duel is a way to kind of have access to sort of that. So because of that, it's always going to be just the more popular thing. As for Rush Duels is a really weird situation, because as soon as it was announced, people hated the idea, because they wanted their game that they've reinvested all their time and their money in to continue to thrive. And again, I can't blame people for wanting that, right? If Pokemon, for example, suddenly was like, yeah, we're not doing Pokemon anymore. If you want to keep playing Pokemon, sorry, we're not doing that. We're doing Pokemon 2, which is like Pokemon, but not quite the same. You know, there'd be a ton of pushback from that. Obviously, Rush Duel was supposed to be an adjacent game going alongside it, but people are now like, oh, well, I want a new mainline Yu-Gi-Oh anime that isn't Rush Duel. But we got Sevens, and Sevens is fine. Like, I really enjoy Sevens personally, but like, again, I can understand people want a more serious, darker story. And a big part of that also is the fact that we've grown up with Yu-Gi-Oh, right? When we first got into Yu-Gi-Oh, or the majority of people, myself included, we were kids. And now we've become adults. And as we become adults, we've gotten used to having more darker, more serious stories. So I can understand you want your content to grow up with you. But that's kind of just not really how things tend to work. Like, it's always been targeted at children and young teens, and I think that's fine. I mean, most like shonen anime is still targeted at young teens, and people of all ages still enjoy that. Yu-Gi in general doesn't get viewers on Twitch, even Master Duel is not large. Yeah, that is another big point. It's one of those weird ones where watching card games on stream is always a bit weird. Like, even I think it's actually worse when it's paper play, because then you never quite get a good sense of it. The cards are like never in like proper focus, so it's hard to tell what's going on a lot of the time. Man, this hand is still so bad, huh? We're like, it's so close to being a good hand, like so close. We just needed one more card that gives us access to summoning big guys. Wait, what did I just do? Did I click go in defense? No, that's fine. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Activate the effect. Discard Kimmy. We are going to summon out Lamoon in attack. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to try and clear this. This might just be a 1400 defender, but if it's not, this pays off dividends. Excellent. Now we can't do a double tribute summon without a not stray force, recovery force. Or he could also just draw a Seahorse Carrot, which is obviously running because of that. I can't blame people to play a TCG with most of the time one turn. For me, the goal of a TCG is to have more than one turn with suspense and not max C until I concede. Harpy Feather Duster, okay, I concede. From that point of view, I would say different strokes for different folks, right? Some people are really going to enjoy that style of gameplay, and I think that's fine, right? Not all card games have to be exactly something that everyone enjoys. The weird part comes because it started off as one thing. You know, T-Set Pass was the opener for like all Yu-Gi-Oh players back in the day, and it's evolved over time to being what it is today. And I think that's why people have like a weird problem with it, because it's like you got the nostalgia for the thing that you had, and you know you like that, And then when it's changed into something that you don't recognize, it feels bad. And again, completely understand that. But, like, isn't Gwent... Like, I haven't really done a ton of Gwent. But I believe Gwent is like a 3-turn game. Like, the game is just designed to be played over 3 turns. And that's apparently really popular. I feel there should be a combo count. I hate playing Yu-Gi-Oh! When it takes 4 minutes for all the combos to finish. I think that's the thing, though. Sometimes it feels really cool to do, like, a big, like, 9 chain link combo. And, like, doing... Like, I do this and this, which triggers this, and then this goes off, and then I'll do this, then I'll link these into this, and then I'll XYZ this. Again, I do quite like that, but I wouldn't want that to be, again, my main game. Like, that's kind of where I'm at. I want to do that occasionally from time to time, and I like that there is an outlet for thought I can have that type of experience if I want it. But I don't want that to be, like, my main experience. Are we playing Kimmy because he's a 2500? Yes, that is literally it. It could have been any other 2500. It's a 2500 that occasionally can just win you the game. That is the only reason it's in here. Do we have... We don't have a pitcher, so we're not doing that either way. We'll go Seahorse Carrier. Activate Seahorse Carrier. Take back Lamoon. Summon... Tribute 2. I think we are just going to maximize... There's no point, right? Because we'd have to discard anyway to kill one of these. I don't want to leave him with a monster is the problem. I cannot... Like, I have to trade, which I'm not doing. So we will just summon it. Tribute 2 for this. Activate our skill. We'll shuffle these 2 back in. Activate this. I don't need to use this. And I don't kill if I do, so we just won't. Swing over this. And we'll swing over this. And then we'll pass. Alright. What is your skill for these deck, by the way? This one is using Cure Master D and Kuto, which shuffles 2 Aquas back into your deck and sets D and Kuto the Cure Master on your field, so gain 1,000 life points. It's good to recycle sometimes your D and Kuto the Boogie Master, and more often than not, you want your Seahorse Carriers back in the deck. The fact that Master Duel will be more fun if we actually draw until 5 each turn. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Master Duel already is a weird... Like, if you want to draw loads of cards, that's just Maxi, right? You know, there's your drawing. But, yeah, I can't imagine Master Duel working very well with drawing 5 cards each turn. I mean... No way, no way. Lol, no. Hey, Tomato, how's it going? Maxim... Oh, and then as a therapist, I feel like giving myself a diagnosis of ADHD, lol. I lose focus when I see a deck with 9 move combo and just start watching TV. I forget I'm playing and time out. My opponent just quits. I mean, yeah. I think a lot of people share that, right? And that's why there has been so much like pushback. Alright, summon, activate. Bring back Lamoon. Doesn't really... Yeah, it kind of does. Right, we'll summon. Tribute 2. Summon. Activate both of these. Discard 2. Gain a ton of life points, try and get us out of the danger zone. Which is something that this deck is really going to struggle to deal with. Get him with this. And then we pass the turn. Because most of the time, if you don't have hand trap, you have nothing to do. Yes, I mean, that is a big thing, right? Like, hand traps is a big cause of a lot of people's frustrations. Like, even when they very first came out, right? Like, maybe not Karibo, but Battle Fader, Effect Veiler, even DD Crow to a certain extent, a lot of people really hate. So a lot of people quit Yu-Gi-Oh just because of those, let alone, you know, that was right around the time Synchro Summons were coming out. At that point, they could just add Rush Duel to Master Duel, which, again, would be lovely, but it would be really nice to get our own game, right? Just put Rush Duel as its own online simulator, but I can understand why they don't want to do that after Cross Duel. Time to get big life point gain, yep, and just outlive this guy. That is the plan. Hope you've been doing well. Yeah, I've been doing great, thank you. How have you been doing, Maxim? What kind of cards would you like to see come to provide a bit more excitement for the first Rush Duel Goha Cup? See, it's a weird one. I basically took a break from playing the physical Rush Duel game. And the reason we did that was because obviously this had just come out on Duel Links. So I was like, okay, we'll take a break from that. We'll jump on here and we'll invest a lot of our time into this. And then recently I went back and started playing like the Japanese game again a lot more. And it is just night and day, the difference between like the amount of like combos, the amount of interaction you get with your opponent, the amount of exciting games you get versus like, in the current game versus the Duel Links game. So I kind of just want the game to speed up a bit and just gain a lot of those tools. Now, I'm not saying, oh, we should just have every single card out, but it's really hard to think of just a few cards to throw in. I think the biggest thing for me is going to be just make people want to play spells and traps. Now, whether we do that by releasing good spell and traps, or whether we do that by releasing skills that force you to play spells and traps or something, I'm not really sure entirely of the best way to do that. Because the way we did that originally was we had broken spell traps, right? Dark Revelation is a card that I think most people agree wouldn't be great for the game, but one thing it did force people to do is play back row and play back row destruction. So, although overall, probably not the best thing to bring it to the game, it did solve a lot of the problems that we're currently having in Rush Duel Links. So I think unless we get really good back row, people aren't going to run back row hate. We also don't have all the back row hate. All we have at the moment is Hammer Crush. And I think the reason for that is because not all types are created equally and not all types get a back row hate card. Next up, Tomatosaurs. Let me explain why you have too much clean effort. You build all on board. Your opponent do Dark Ruler no more. Following by evenly match. If I lose against that, I kind of not really play. Opponent get rid of 8 of my cards for 2 of theirs. I mean, yeah, that's never fun to play against, right? But there is a huge number of people that still treat Yu-Gi-Oh as in the big 3, right? Like Yu-Gi-Oh has for forever pretty much been one of the 3 biggest TCGs. And it still is to this day, which means there are enough people that enjoy that style of gameplay that it's clearly going to just stick around for a bit longer. Am I going to lose to Dragon Knight of Darkness? Is this going to happen? I don't want that to happen. Do I get a say in that? I could pop one of his dudes, but like that doesn't do anything. What's in here? We have that already. I think we just set 3. And we're going to set the Thunders here as well. Until he draws a Dragius, we can kind of just keep biding our time. I've been doing pretty fine, that's good. I want a game where it's only Fusion and Ritual, no XCs, no Synchros, Links, or Pendulums. Well, you got to play like the older formats then for that. Like, pre-Synchro is probably just GOAT format. I know there is a format called Black and White format, which is no Link monsters and no Pendulums, but obviously it still uses XCs and Synchros. I finished Ghost Girls event, and since the survey came out tonight, I put in the survey to add Yuri, and hopefully he comes out next year. I mean, fingers crossed. Yuri's obviously just a really cool character. I'm always going to love Arc V, so... I remember when Gladiator Beast was OP. I mean, Gladiator Beast was a menace for quite a long time, but... At the same time, Gladiator Beast, I don't think has ever been the only OP deck. Like, it came out and then did, like, very little on release. And then Dark Arm Dragon came out, and then suddenly that became a really broken deck. And then Light Sworn came out as Gyzerus came out, which then made both of those decks really broken. And we had kind of a 3-deck format, which was really cool. And then, obviously, they all stayed relevant all the way through Edison, which was... This guy... tricky. This is tricky. Alright, I think we always summon Pitcher. We use Pitcher. Bring back Slugger. We tribute 2. Summon out Boogie Master. We summon Carrier. Activate Carrier. Bring back Lamoon. This is where things get tricky. Do I discard now? Or do I discard after? I think I discard now. We discard because then we can use Carrier again immediately. And take back Lamoon. Now the only issue with that is we cannot attack with our level 6 and lowers because we've used our Sports Dragon effect. So even if we do summon it out, we can't attack with it. So we might as well just use Prima-Gitana here. Set this. Go to battle. We have to clear out the threat. And then we just clear Dragon Knight Ducts. And we just pass the turn. For me, classic Yu-Gi-Oh player have the Stockholm Syndrome. They don't want to admit the game isn't good anymore because they have invested too much time and money. I mean, at first us, I think that would be more like sunk cost fallacy more than anything else. Social activity is related to Yu-Gi-Oh, but you never see other TCG criticize their own game as Yu-Gi-Oh. See, I think a lot of communities do criticize their own game. And people criticize their own game when they love their game, right? You're not going to get people criticizing their own game if they hate their own game. Like, for the most part, it's because I care that I want it to change. I think a lot of the time, you're just not deep enough or invested enough into a community to see, you know, that community saying they don't like stuff about their own game. I remember well in the USA, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really working anymore. Most of the card game shops start to cancel their contract for Yu-Gi-Oh! Product because they can't sell them at a good price. When you see display at $35, a shop doesn't make any money on it. I think a big part of that, though, is you get into a whole other discussion about a lot of players have now wisened up to not buying booster packs because a lot of the time it's a waste of time, right? People have gotten to a stage now where they just buy singles online. So I think that's a bit of a weird area to get into, because the other thing is that a lot of game stores in general have been struggling to move product because everyone wants to buy singles, which is why there's a big push online of people saying support your local game store, support your local game store, buy product from your local game store if you can, because that helps them out, and then you have a place to play, because if you're not making any money from selling product, then people aren't going to run tournaments, and that hurts the scene in general. Yeah, definitely, there wasn't really anyone else in mind. I want for other worlds, like, I do want more Vrains characters and more Zexal cards. I mean, I can think of tons of Rush characters I want, so... What is this hand again? Okay, this is probably not a winner. I also want Ruri and Rin 2 for the bracelet girls. Get roster since we have 2 out of 4. Yeah. I don't keep up with the actual cards, but are there any Lynx or Xyz Gladiator Beasts that can bring them back? They do have more modern support. They do have at least a Link monster. I can tell you that much. I haven't kept up to date with it enough to be able to tell you if it was a good Link monster. Do we go for pressure? I don't think we can. I think it's so greedy to try and just get more damage in. He's only got one monster. We're going to empty our hand here. Gain the 1,000. Swing with this. And then pass. Nice move. Thank you. There's an Arc V character who played Gladiator Beast in the anime. Yeah, I can't remember what his character's name was, but it was like a savage, right? He had like the Colosseum and he'd hide during the game. Unless they release him with the rest of the support, then yeah. Yeah, I don't have all those cards in the game. We don't have their Link monster yet. Two of the most popular ways to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Are Edison and Goat. People like old formats. Yeah, Goat is a weird one. I really enjoyed Goat when I first started playing it, but I quickly fell off of Goat just because, although if you look at like a tier list or something for Goat, it'll be like, yeah, look, there's like 30 decks. There's like 4 decks and then different variations, and then there's like rogue decks underneath it. So Goat is still fine. I do like Goat. It's not something I want to jam all the time. Edison, on the other hand, I absolutely adore. I love Edison games. Some other good cards they're missing. Oh, wow, there's a chance they'll be added the OP again with all their counter traps and support. I doubt they'll ever get OP again, but they might get playable, especially if they get a skill in Duel Links. I hate to know... I hate how Konami fucks the TCG compared to the OCG on card prices. Yes, absolutely. Right, what are we doing with this? We need to at least pay a little bit of attention. Although we might just be dead. We might just be dead. If I summon Dragius, I can't boost its attack, so we'd have to crash. No, we don't have to crash. Because we have this little fella. Now, the other issue is, because we've drawn our Summon Skull and not a normal summon monster and no ways to recycle monsters, we can't actually get a load of guys out, which kind of sucks, which means we're probably boned. But we will do what we can. Activate this. Go to battle, swing over this. Swing over this. And we're probably dead. But considering, again, we did open 3 tribute monsters, there's not really a lot we could have done here. You play Gladiator Beast with Tri Brigade, but most of time, 1 good negate will break your plays. You know, if you pull something 3 Omni negate. I mean, that's going to be the case with a lot of rogue decks, right? Gladiator Beast isn't exactly meta, but you could play it. You could definitely win with it. Like, decent enough. A lot of decks can win. It's just like how consistently they're going to, I suppose. I don't think he will come anytime soon because I still have the other RV characters to get. Battle Beast. So it really depends on the skills they give the character. Edison is more popular than Goat for sure. Archive skills means any archetype can get cool support now. I'm so thankful for that. I do like that. But on the other hand, I do like playing the characters. So for example, we've kind of seen Yosh, or yeah, it's just Yosh in this. Yosh and his alter ego, him in outfit, both be regular duelists, which I think is a little bit disappointing because I'd really like to play Beast Gears with Yosh, but it seems like that's not going to be possible. Or summon. Tribute to. Activate the effect. Summon. Tribute to summon this. I mean, we're almost certainly dead because he's got 2 back row. Right, we will play around Phantom Bind. And then we'll pass. Get full support now. I'm so thankful for that. We're already seeing the first speed archive skill get a ton of use. One of the big issues with Master Duel is about the windows for hand trap. If we compared that to old Yu-Gi-Oh! Trap, where we set and it's easy to set up. The main difference there, though, is the game has sped up to a degree where if you had to set all of your trap cards, then a lot of the time people just wouldn't play trap cards, right? Or you can't interrupt your opponent making their like turn 1 board, which is going to have a load of interruptions in it. And a lot of the time, playing through interrupts isn't impossible, but it becomes a lot easier if you do have ways to dissuade your opponent from like popping off quite as hard. Now, the whole purpose of archive skills just in non-anime decks, like mechs, for example. Yeah, I mean, originally it did feel like Duel Links was the anime game, right? A lot of the skills they brought in made characters like Weevil and Mako and Rex Raptor and Mai, and made all of their decks feel a lot stronger, which was, you know, really cool, right? We got to see some of the anime decks and get a big boost. But as we've gone forward, and especially since we've ended Vrain's era, any decks that came out after Vrain's don't have an anime counterpart. But if you still want to make those useful, again, you need something like archive skills. The issue, I think, comes in when we're going to get archive skills for characters or for decks which have a character and just don't give you the character. So, for example, we already have the Noodle Ninja skill, but we have a character that uses the Noodle Ninjas, right? It's Sabu Ramen, or Menzaburo as he's known in Japanese, is the Noodle Ninja guy. And we have a Noodle Ninja skill, but we've got it as an archive skill instead of as a skill for a character. Which just feels off to me. It just feels very foreign and strange. So now this is a way better hand. Look at this. Summon out Carrier. Activate Carrier. Give me back my Kanan. Activate Dragius. Go ahead and summon. I guess we will... Do we want to pump? What do we get? We pay 1,000 and we get an extra 1,200 damage. Yeah, okay, we'll pump. Then I'll go ahead and activate Cure Master D and Keto. That was maybe a little bit early. I don't think I needed to do it right there. Straight to battle. Swing over this. You lose the important part of the message. Hand trap and master of the game automatically stop to purpose your opponent to use their effects, so you cannot bluff. Well, you... Again, you can and you can't, right? You can toggle on and toggle off. To bluff you've got it or bluff you haven't got it. Now, I can't remember exactly how Master Duel's toggle works. Like, if you'll miss the timing. I know with something like EDO Pro that I use to play Rush Duel, you can basically set always respond. So every single chance, it will be like, do you want to do something? And it'll automatically say, like, you can't do anything, but we're pausing the game to make your opponent think you've got something. And that's just how people play Rush tournaments, is you just say, toggle, 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 toggle. And just kind of every single gap, even if you've got nothing, you want your opponent to think you've got something. Man, Noodle Ninjas are cool. Yeah, big true. And they get loads of support going forward. Noodle Ninjas is going to be a good deck later. I cannot get past platinum level. Is there any way I can send a pic of my deck for feedback? Discord, I guess. Or see recent duel. Send a picture of my deck. Yeah, you can send me a message on Discord, I don't mind. Obviously, we'd have to be in the same thing. Or you could just post it in... I don't know if my bot will stop links being posted. What am I doing with this hand? We have a lot of tat in this hand. That's what we have. I guess we will just get out the boys. Come forth, Kime Ruler. And Kime Ruler has just received a... I call it a buff. He's just received some new support from the new set. I mean, I think we should be fine to just attack, right? I don't think we need to use the skill. I'm pretty sure nothing he has can stop this. That is an excellent question. I mean, my name on Discord is just Tomato Sauce, but... Unfortunately, I haven't got my own Discord set up yet. Not using Prima there really hurts me. I mean, it didn't matter, right? Like, you tell me, Sam, was there a situation there where I could lose... Game of Discord for that in general. I'll do, yeah. The a lot of the Discords are just really good. Like for both rush and speed. I used to use the Duelix one a long time ago. Okay, we'll just take the win then. That's fine. Alright, we'll just keep going for now. I get it, I do, my brain goes, Prima guarantees this win. Yeah, but I got to keep my 5,700 life points, Sam. Those were my life points. I like to be stingy with my life points. We are Seahorse Carrier away from having a fantastic hand. That's not a Seahorse Carrier. I mean, I guess we're just gonna do this. I mean, set one pass. He can't have anything, right? Alright, we always mill because we want to get more. Unfortunately, that's not one of the cards we wanted to get milled, but... Right, no Phantom Bind unless he toggled off. Torna. It's only turn 3, so he can't use his skill. But he can empty his hand with the other level 6s that he presumably has. So that's all fine and dandy. Nothing in here is particularly useful for us. I think we do just hold Prima. And then this should just be game, right? I cannot think of a world in which this isn't lethal. Oh, there we go. That's what happens when our opponent bricks. Well, there's Twitch doing ad things again. Damn it, Twitch. Speaking of which, I don't think any of my subscribers are here, so you're all getting added. Everyone enjoy their little ad break. Hope you got some really cool ads. As we go into Sam. Now, is Sam going to be playing the Psychics, is the question. Oh, I really don't like this hand. I really don't like this hand. Like, this is so awkward, but I think we're going to do this. Like some kind of Backstreet Boys movie ad. Nice. There was an ad? I mean, my Twitch told me there was an ad. I don't know if there was. I couldn't watch it. I really want to give Psychics a go, but I need a damn good reason to not play Dragius. Yeah, Dragius is pretty good, huh? Why do we not have? I mean, we got 4, but we're so close to being able to summon out 2 big monsters and have another big monster out, but we can't. How many dragons do we actually have access to at the moment? We got 1. Only the 1. Okay, so in which case we can just do this. This is kind of a sucky play, but I do think it is correct. Right, just mill a light aqua. Okay, or we're not, or not. Right, tribute, tribute. We activate Primigatana, which guarantees that we don't die to Phantom Bind. As well as put our opponent very, very low. The RTX graphics card ad. Wow. All that ray tracing. BRB, and then mill and Aqua Dragius. That was the plan. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out for us. Does he have? I guess he must do. Yeah, he does. Okay. So he set a card, which means he can't summon out 2 tribute monsters. Is he not going to summon any? Is he going to leave this in attack mode? Brother in Christ. Quantum Cubes, thank you for the follow. Well, there is the Dragius. But what do we do against the Dragius? So we're going to lose our whole board, but he's going to end with just 1 defense monster. As long as we don't brick, we should be okay here. Can I just say, I'm sure I said this before, but as an outsider looking, and I don't understand how the same designers create Dragius and Seventh Road along shit like D and Keto. I think the idea was that they wanted to make the main character's boss monsters relevant all the way through the game's life cycle. They were like, we're going to make these cards so good that people will always want to play them. And on that point, I guess they succeeded. 1, 2, 3, 4, which means I won't get to do that anyway, so I might as well do the one that doesn't cost me life points. Like, hello, Game Design Balance. Hope to see you at the top of KC Cup. I mean, I haven't thought about even attempting that, but maybe. Maybe we'll give it a go. I used to try and do... So when I was younger, I say younger, like I was actually a child at the time, but I used to do the KC Cup so one year, I think it was right as like COVID was picking up, they were like, we're going to do the KC Cup in London. And I was like, okay, traveling to Japan is kind of a pain, but if it's in London, I could do that. So we did the whole like 2-day grind. And we fell just shy of it, but that's because I think on the second day they announced that because of COVID, they weren't going to be doing it in London, and they were instead going to be hosting it over in Japan. And I was like, I can't really commit to going to Japan for this, but so now I kind of have lost a lot of the momentum and interest to go. I can't even remember what I was playing at that time. Was that might have been when I was playing Gladiator Beasts and Cyber Angels. So this would have been, God, when the PC client for Duel Links came out. I think it was not long after that. Why would you ever play the other decks then? So that was the weird thing, right? A lot of the other decks would just jam like Dragius in it, which again is not great. But eventually cards do come out that do rival them. Like Light Machines is a very competent deck that we get, or we should get, not too far away, right? I think it came out around set 5 or 6, and that was a new like meta contender threat. And that had a card, or still has, again, still a very used card to this day, a card called Steel Mechlord Mirror Innovator, I think it's called. And it basically is a 2400 attack monster that you can shuffle up to 3 machine monsters from your graveyard into your deck. Then it gains attack equal to the combined levels of those monsters times 100. Jesus, this is a rough open we're against. How do we even play against this? We have to crash Dragius and then set 2 pass. Which means I should have not set both of those. It doesn't really make much difference, but I would have had higher defense points to work with. We'll activate this because we still want to get a light into the graveyard, which we still didn't get. We'll just swing in here. This really sucks, but what can we do? But yeah, so it being able to gain a load of attacks is obviously really good, but also if you only send 1 card back into your deck, it gains piercing. So just a really good card in general. It takes a little while, or it took a little while, I should say, for a lot of the other decks to like overtake the power of Dragius and Seven's Road. Like a lot of the Sevens era was, you know, the Dragon Spellcaster, Dragon Caster, and kind of Light Machine era. There were a few other decks that managed to like creep up. Like Beast Gears was quite a good one as well. It was a good like anti Spellcaster and Dragon deck because their field spell reduced the attack power of Spellcasters and Dragons by 300. Now obviously that doesn't do as much to Spellcasters because on your opponent's turn they're only like Seven's Road's only 21 anyway, so putting it down to 18 is whatever. But putting Dragius down to 22 was huge. What's going on with these hands? All right, we can do stuff. We can definitely play the game with this, but what's going on here? I cannot use Slugger because then I won't get to attack with other cards. I need to use this, which means this probably attacking that. So we will simply... Oh, this is so gross. No matter how we do this, this ends up being so gross. Summon, summon, tribute both for this. Nah. No matter how we do this, again, we end up with a really, really gross hand. If I want the extra card in hand, I have to tribute these 2 first. Let me summon. Summon. Activate. Bring back. Activate. Discard. Weaken that. Activate our skill to play around Phantom Bind. Shuffle both of these back in. Activate D and Keto. Swing into this. Let's try and get a bit greedy. Let's see what this is. We will kill this, though. Man, I really wanted to kill that. But, shit happens. Hello, D-Naught. How's it going? Thank you for the follow. And welcome back, Dragzen. Yeah, like we were saying, Rush is a weird one. I think they learnt their lesson in Sevens, that releasing such powerful cards in these starter decks was not the way to go. But the flip side to that is, when Go Rush first came out, they were very reluctant to release very good cards. So when Go Rush first came out, we had like nothing interesting new to play with for quite a long time. But right now, like right now, the game is in a fantastic spot. And rogue decks all the way through Sevens has always been so much fun. The problem is that they're rogue decks. What do I do with this hand? I mean, we can just get out all of our guys. That's fine. We don't really have anything to bring back. There's no reason to put anything else in our hand. Unless we want to keep Seahorse Carrier. In which case we could summon out Karibot. Pay 500 life points. Yeah, we'll do that. I want to keep Seahorse Carrier in hand. Minus 700. Alright, let's just play out this turn quick. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon. Summon. Activate Prima. Go to battle. Lowest one attacks over the defense mode. And we'll just crash over these. Unfortunately, we have played a lot of life points, but we have got massive board control. He didn't tribute summon as well, so chances are he doesn't have any high levels. He's just got monsters in hand at low levels. Most of treasure, can't complain. Just on a King of Games climb with Ramen Boys. Gotta love the Ramen Boys. Freaking Kana Princess. Exactly. Who's playing 1400 defenders, man? XQE waiting room, man. I personally have always hated XQE. XQE were the only... So people, I think, will hyperbolically say that like Dragon Casters were tier 0 in original Rush, but again, that's kind of blowing out of proportion. Dragon Casters were a really strong deck alongside Spellcasters and Dragons. XQE was actually a T0 deck. Like, that deck was unbelievably powerful, and I am glad to see the back of it. And it still sees play to this day. But yeah, I greatly dislike XQE. Right, either way, we're tributing both. So we will get rid of both of these. Summon out Carrier. Activate Carrier. Get back Kanan. Summon out Kanan. Yeah, that was a... not necessarily a misplay so much as I think there was a slightly better player could have done. But this is fine. Weaken this. Right, now the question we get to play is this going to be a 1400 defender? No, it's not. Okay, this board should be kind of annoying to break, at the very least. Was waiting for him to respond to execute comment. Yeah, Sam knows me too well. I'll make sure to rig your bracket so you only fight those. Oh, man. Yeah, XQE is... It's a really annoying deck to play against because it's so consistent. It feels like unless you brick and just don't get one of your guys that special summons themselves, you just can always do everything you want. They have so many good back row. They have so many good monsters. Before they got hit with the restriction list, they were just running rampant, just being able to cheat out 2500 attack monsters constantly. They weaken your opponent's monsters. They have a very easy way to just bounce any of your high-level monsters back into your deck, which is really strong. They were just bonkers. And playing Rush at that time was pretty miserable. Unless you were playing exactly Execute. Again, there's probably a lot of people that really love the Execute mirrors. Which is fine. Like, I don't mind playing an Execute mirror every now and then. But when it's like the entire format for months, it's just like, ugh, no thank you. With the Asana leak, do you think we'll actually get Maxims early? Did we get an Asana leak? Have I missed that? Let me have a look. Let me take a peek. Where is this Asana leak? I'm not seeing an Asana leak. Why has he got 225s out again? What's going on here? Mimi, when she was added, mentioned Asana's ace in her bio. I mean, that'll be coming out eventually. I very much doubt Asana will be the next character. I fully am on board with it being... Did we pay the 1,000? Either way, we summon both of these. If I want to clear both of these, I need to summon this. Which puts me... I guess I'll go back to 11, which is kind of fine. Use Prima. Use D and Keto. Go to battle. Clear both. Pass the turn. But yeah, I fully expect Roa to be the next character with the Royal Rebels. I'm gonna have a video coming out tomorrow, just kind of talking about that. Then I fully expect the next character after that to be Nail, because that just makes sense. A lot of the time, Duel Links likes to release things in the order that they happen in the anime, and the first like mini antagonist is Roa, the second one is Nail, and then the third one is Asana. So I think they will just release them in that order. Not to mention, again, you can't do Asana without introducing Maximums, and... Bro, really? How has this happened? I feel like this guy has drawn busted every turn this duel. I feel like we played really well, and we actually drew okay, but our opponent just drew absolutely insane every single time. Like, we had a board setup that was really strong, and he ended on 225s. Then we broke that, and he still had the out, and the exact out as well. He needed exactly to have a way to weaken our monster, a way to get out Dragius, and to have another monster on top. Like, I don't know how we were supposed to beat that. Do you think they will release Heal Healer in Duel Links? I mean, I don't see why not. Heal Healer is put a spell card back into your deck, gain 1,000, right? Have a quick look. Yeah, shuffle a spell card from your graveyard into the deck, gain 1,000, 1,600 attack. I don't see why they wouldn't. Like, Heal Healer's never really been like a super busted card. Now, there are some cards that might not make their way over, like Progress Potter or Necromaid Nana. I could see those cards not being brought in, just because they are problematic in the sense that you can kind of do loops and stuff with them. This is actually an okay hand. Let's see if we can get some tribute monsters in the next turn. Imagine they releasing Seat Bastion with the chair deck, man. I can't wait for Seat Bastion. Or as his name was in Japanese, just Sebastian. But, oh man. The chair cards are so much fun. They are not remotely competitive, but they are so much fun. Having 0 attack boss monsters that you can just boost up is just always going to be fun. And winning any game with chairs feels so rewarding. And then Progress Potter, yeah. Progress Potter is... It's a card that I think Psychics need because it is the best way Psychics have to chuck cards from their graveyard back into their deck. And Psychics is a deck that really likes to like power mill. So it's very important that they do get that card, but we cannot have that card at more than 2. Like, it just creates too many problems. Where are my high-level monsters? Things are looking a bit dire here. What do we have in graveyard already? We just have Slugger. We'll keep... I guess we'll set both of these and we can just keep this in hand. Right, well, we're all set up, ready to do 2 tribute summons Dark Revelation is a card I'm not looking forward to them adding. I mean, they might just never add it. Like, or at least they might not add it until way later on. But we were talking about this earlier. Dark Revelation, being as powerful as it was, made games more interactive. It made people play around it more. So you don't just summon 3 guys and attack, swing, swing, swing. Because you're like, well, my opponent might have a Mirror Force, so I can't do that. I will just die. What do you think would be the first Legend spell trap? Probably Card Destruction, because it's the most useless. I would not be surprised at all if Card Destruction was the first one released. And then the first playable one will probably be Trap Hole. Because Trap Hole is good, it's interactive, but it's not like crazy good, right? The most that card does is stops your opponent's tribute monster, but you kind of have to know when to use it as well, because your opponent might just not be tributing. Alright, this board is nutty, right? Why has our opponent amassed this and we've still stuck with nothing? Still no tribute monsters! The deck either spits out 4 or it spits out 0. There's nothing in between. I mean, do we have any chance of winning now? I think we're just dead, right? We're going to take 25 minimum here. And then what can we do on 1,000 life points? Like almost nothing, right? Here, good spell traps give reason to run spell trap removal, which is good. Yes. That is exactly it. Because why would people play Hammer Crush if the only thing they have to worry about is occasionally a Phantom Bind? Like most people aren't even running Phantom Bind. So, but if everyone's running Mirror Force, oh, there we go. There is our death. Jesus, I don't know what we were supposed to do in this game. Our opponent's drawn the nuts and we've drawn crap all game. In this meta, Trap Hole would be busted. Well, so yes, if you just put it in on its own into our current card pool, Trap Hole would be crazy, right? And it's a legend card, so it's supposed to be a broken card, right? But when you put it in the format, or when you put it in the context of, oh, you know, we could just not put that in and we could put Mirror Force in, suddenly Trap Hole doesn't seem as busted, you know? Is Dark Revelation Spellcaster Trap? Yes. Yes, it is. It's Mirror Force, and it's very, very strong. I typically run 1 Phantom Bind just because most people are running multi-type decks, so it isn't very good right now. Yes. I mean, against Dragon Casters, a lot of the time, it's not very useful. Against kind of the aggro builds, it's not generally quite useful. It's pretty good into, like, the Aqua decks, the Dragonic Resonance, and the Spellcasters, 7's XL Road. Like, it's okay into them, but outside of that, they probably would limit 1 Dark Revelation anyway. The thing with limit 1ing a card like that is, yes, it's good that your opponent isn't now going to be like spamming it, but the main reason that we had Dark Revelation in the first place was because 7's Red Magician's a bit mid, right? It's a very strong attacking card, but most of the time it's going to be running into something that has, you know, 2,500 attack anyway, which means you're only actually going to be doing like 1,400 damage to your opponent's life points. And obviously in an 8,000 life point format, just chipping away at them and killing their boss monster is decent, but you're always expecting to lose your 7's Red Magician on the crackback. And that's why Dark Revelation was so useful, because it's like, oh, well, dragons can do this all-out aggression, but spellcasters have this kind of set up the graveyard, play a more control-y style game. The problem was, dragons then realized they could just use Dark Revelation and put a load of spellcasters in their decks. That's kind of where it fell apart. So I don't actually hate Dark Revelation in a pure spellcaster build, but have it tied to a skill. I think that's the best way to have it. Okay, I think we're just going to get both of these guys out. Are we paying the 1,000 to get the boost is the question. It's definitely the safer option. Let's go for it. Getting for the 28. Let me pass on that. Pure Mimi deck, best deck. I mean, Disco Fever has been doing okay, but I personally am not the biggest fan of Disco Fever specifically. I think it forces you to basically only have D and Keto as your boss monster, and that kind of sucks. But other than that, yeah, I think Mimi is a fantastic character. I've always really liked the Aqua cards, and the Aqua cards you get in future are also really, really cool. I've cut all Phantom Binds because you just need to hit your normal summon threshold every turn. Exactly. That's kind of where we're at the moment. It's so weird to be running decks with no spell traps. Like, it's just so strange to me that we're in that situation right now. And I'm just really hoping that goes away with the next release. Now, chances are we get Roa in late November. And then early December is when I assume we're going to get the next box. And that is where we'll start to see more like good spells and traps come in. Fingers crossed. We're playing Caveman Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. Hopefully that changes soon. I mean, it's not even like Caveman Yu-Gi-Oh! I feel like it's almost worse than Caveman Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, was there ever a stage in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where we just didn't play spells and traps? Like, it's so weird. Like, we're all out here playing super heavy samurais. Do we not have... Oh, that's like... I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's just like slightly annoying. So we summon, tribute 2 for that. We summon, get that back, tribute for that, summon. Yeah, that's our line. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Normal summon. Activate carrier. Bring back Kanan. Tribute. Summon. Activate. Where are we at? If we crash over, that's 300. 3,500. So this is just game then, right? Oh, I shouldn't spin wheels. I want to, but I shouldn't. I don't actually mind King Yu-Gi-Oh! It feels punishing to play spells and traps. Yeah, and that's the problem. You should never be dissuaded from using spell traps. That's what's very odd to me, right? It's just... I really like simplified formats. I've just always enjoyed that. Like, when Cardfight Vanguard very, very first released, I loved the format because it was so simple, right? There was so much you could do with so little. And the same thing happened when Cardfight Vanguard Zero came out, or when Duel Links first released, right? There's a lot of very deliberate, tiny things you can change, which can drastically change things up. I mean, we even have that right now in Rush Duel, but it just feels a bit weird to not have spells and traps. It feels like you're not playing with 2/3 of the game, right? Like, we've got the monsters, but we don't have the spells and the traps. So, like, we're playing with 1/3 of the tools that we should have available. Now, obviously, there are a crap ton more monsters than there are spells and traps, so that analogy kind of doesn't entirely hold up, but I want spells and traps. I want interaction. I want combos. I want stuff. I don't want just tribute, summon, attack. I think that's it's a bit boring. But there is enough here to get a decent amount of fun out of, and at least we have that. You only need 15 Aqua-like monsters for Disco Fever, so you can play any other boss monster. But does Disco Fever... Let me just look this up quick, rather than just talking out of my butt. I'm pretty sure Disco Fever says you can't run boss monsters. And the only level 7 or higher effect monsters in your deck are Aqua-type, which means you're either playing normal monsters, so you're playing like Max Raider and Gaia, or you're playing like the one good playable, which will be Summon Skull. And don't even get me started on the Dark Magician Girl shit. That stuff is so, like, cope. And I know some people have done well with it, but it's just, do you get lucky the deck at that point? Well, we can get our hand empty. Unfortunately, we would have much rather had a Dragius here. This is kind of a bit mid. We can't clear his entire board. And it looks like we might just be against... Yeah, we're against Beatdown. Might be a bit rough. I do think Psychics are the only deck that gets away with spell traps right now because the ones they have right now are decent. Yes, the problem Psychics have is their boss monsters are very mid at the moment. They don't have Esperade, which is their 2500 attacker. And they have to pay a lot of life points to do any of their like cool stuff. And their best card is Roman Pick, which again is limited to 1. So like I feel like they're being hamstrung so much. It's almost like someone at Konami was like, all right, if we give them a 2500 attacker and 3 copies of Roman Pick, they will be the best deck in the game. So we can't do that. But in exchange, they've ended up making them feel rather underwhelming, which is very disappointing because Psychics are a really cool deck. Any deck that requires you to manage your resources, in this case life, like very carefully, are very, very cool. They're very rewarding to play. So it's just kind of a shame that they are getting the short end of the stick at the moment. Because that's the other thing. Psychics have never been like super top tier. Psychic engines have been really good. Like in Thunderbolt decks, we've seen it quite a lot. Recently, we've had Wonderbolt, which is a 7's Wonder Fusion, combined with Thunderbolt, with a good Psychic engine consisting of like Roman picks and stuff. And that's a really fun, rewarding, and strong deck. Man, what's going on here? Why have you found this? Where's my Dragius at? I bet I find my Dragius now, and I have no way to beat over this Dragius. Do I even have... I bet I don't have a Light Aqua engraved, do I? Yep. Okay. I mean, I think we have to summon out Diankito. Do we? Right, we're going to summon out Diankito. I think that there's an argument for doing both plays here. This gets an extra card out of our hand. Does bolster our life points. But does let him keep one of his guys. If he doesn't find another King Beetle or a Thunder the Thunder, this is kind of okay, but it's a little bit yikes no matter how you look at it. Oh, is he going to do another tribute summon? Yeah, what's he got? If it's just Dragius Crash, Dragius hit, that's kind of okay. That was probably the best case scenario for us losing our card. Alright, so we summon, activate the effect, discard Kimmy, weaken, summon. We finally have a light in the graveyard. But is it too little too late? We have unfortunately already lost a ton of life points, which is really not where we want to be. But we should be able to clear his whole board. And he's already gone through 2 Dragius. Statistically, the last Dragius should be in the bottom 10 cards of his deck. Noodles is such a fun deck, Lamau. Definitely my favorite deck in this format. Yeah, I love the Noodles. I mean, who doesn't love the Noodles? They're Noodles. Right, summon. Tribute out both of... Well, tribute both of our monsters to summon out our Dragius. Dragius effect. Dragius effect. Summon Kanan. Go to battle, swing. Now, if Kanan beats over this, it is a win. It's not a win. Okay. They were all 14, so there was no road there that got us to victory, unfortunately. So we pass on that. 24 to 24. We've got 2 2500 attack monsters out. What do we die to? We die to summon Dragius, summon Tribute, Beetle. I think that's the only hand we lose to. And he only had 1 Dragius left as well. Right, at least we didn't lose to the beatdown deck, I guess. That's one like bit of solace we can have. Thank you, Taratsu. But yeah, like we were saying before, like the current Rush Duel game, as in like the physical Japanese game, is so much fun right now. The only, like, one blemish on it is Seven's Geas. Like, Seven's Geas is miserable to play against, especially because Seven's Geas decks are just running shit like Jinzo and Monster Reborn to turbo out Jinzo, so you just have no way to interact with it whatsoever. Or they're playing Heavy Storm to, again, make it so you have no way to interact with it. It reminds me of back in the day where people would play Stein OTK, right? You just drop Cyber Stein, pay 5,000, summon out like a Cyber Twin or a Cyber End, drop like limiter removal, and the game's over. There's just nothing your opponent could do because, you know, before they do that, they'll use like Giant Trunade or some shit. Alright, we will. Guess we'll do it this way around. Although he's on... That's weird. Why is he on both of those? He also set 2 after sending that to Grave, which tells me this is probably going to run into a 1400. So I don't know why he wouldn't have set his Stray Familiar otherwise. So that's going to be a 14, which means that's also a 14. So there's no reason to attack it. Unless he's bad, that's a 1400 defense monster. Goodbye, my slugger. Right, see what we find. Well, that's a hand. 1, 2, 3... We have a discard, so we can just go all out just this once if we want. But we don't have a light in graveyard now, so I'd have to bam bam, discard, use the effect to bring it back. It's just not worth it, is it? Not really. I guess we could do this. See if we mill one. Nah. Right, we will just then summon. Tribute to. Summon out the second Dragius. Activate the Dragius. I don't think we need to discard here, so we will just go straight to battle. We'll swing in. We'll swing in, so this should be a 1400 defender. There's a 12! Why? Which means there's an okay chance this beats this. And then we win the game. Okay. That's very strange that he kept the Gazelle. That's very, very greedy. I mean, it didn't matter anyway because we couldn't clear it with a 1000 attacker, but still. He out-mind gamed me. I mean, yes. It's not difficult to out-mind game me because I will always look at my opponent's back row. Like, this happens when I play Rush with Alex every Sunday. Every time he has a back row, I'm sat there like, right, that's Mirror Force and Magic Cylinder. So how do I play around both? And I will just sit there and basically, like, play myself into a hole. Which is why I play so much back row hate in, like, every deck. Because I'm like, no, fuck it. I'm going to get rid of the card. If it's gone, it can't hurt me. Ooh, Prima here. It's pretty rough. Alright, we'll tribute these. Activate the effect. Discard the Prima. We're just going to set this. Then we'll pass. See, Alex knows what's up. He sets back row cards and chuckles to himself, knowing that I'm going to just be paranoid the entire time about it. Good old Yu-Gi-Oh! Back row my game log. That's why setting trap cards is so cool, right? Being able to set cards is always this, like, really... It's like flip effect monsters as well, back in the day, right? Your opponent sets a card, in the back of your head you're like, that could be a Man-Eater Bug. Or that could be a Knight Assailant. Or that could be Old Vindictive Magician. But then you've also got to balance it out. Like, if that's a Spirit Reaper, how do I deal with that? If that's a Mystic Tomato or a Sangan, how do I deal with those? That's the interesting thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! In my opinion. It's all the hidden information. These are cards. What an awkward hand. I'm so close to being able to summon out so much stuff. Alright, summon, summon. I want to keep the summon skull in hand, I think. We will get rid of the Diankito from hand, though. I just realized there's a quest to get an 8th extra deck slot. Yes, there is. Don't worry about it. Just get your 8th extra... 8th extra deck slot. I think they started out with 5 extra deck slots, and then with every, like, world release, or all of the, like, the speed ones, they've given you an extra slot. Something like that. I remember unlocking them one at a time. Alright, Seahorse Carrier. I've got 2 25s. So they shouldn't be, like, easy to break. Although, he might be on Disco Fever, in which case he could break 1, which is also still fine. Where are we going with this? You're going to change all my guys to defense? And then Disco Fever... Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, non-aquas. Alright, so we cannot change Diankito. This is the first time this has come up. I need Xe Summon because I just straight done do that. Haven't you leveled up Soul Burner? So shouldn't you have his Xyz monsters? Yep, that's how it's been. With 5Ds release, you got an extra one for 3 Synchro Summons, Zexal 1 for 3 Xyz Summons, and Vrains 1 for 3 Link Summons. We do have a card. So we summon, we activate, bring this back. Waiting for response, do. Just have to enjoy the music for now. Well, we take those, I guess. We were in a pretty good position. We were going to end on 3 high-level monsters, thanks to our Summon Skull. Luckily, there's the starter decks that allow you to do that easily if you're new. Yeah, they give you like a bunch of structure decks, right? Just for like playing the game, which is always nice. Hoggies, exactly. Okay, I'm 9 out of 10. You know, that Xyz monster that gave us the other week? The Earth Guy. That's how I do it. Which Earth Guy are we talking about? What, from the event? From the tag event? Is that what we're talking about? Can't remember what Xyz monsters they were giving out. Fairy King Aldvich. Yep, that's a card that exists. Alright, summon. See, this would be a fantastic hand to have a Dragius in. But we don't have a Dragius. Instead, we have Kimerula. It was in here, to be fair, for exactly situations like this, where we just want another 2500 attack dude. Go away, Seahorse. Oh, Phantom Bind. That's good to know. Pass the turn. You get Dark Rebellion from it, which is a generic rank 4. I do not own Dark Rebellion. Time to go find out how to get that. He's in the Odd Eye Structure deck. You get one of the deck for free from the shop. Yeah, Dark Rebellion is such a good generic 4. Like, it's one of the best generic 4s in the game. Like, it's such a simple card as well. And did you know in the anime, its effect wasn't once per turn and only cost one of its material? Good old anime effects. To battle. Let's get in for our cheeky 5k. Why are we getting mission that we want to ritual summon? Oh, no, we don't want to surrender. I mean, you know, ritual summoning's always been a part of the game, Jagsy. Don't you want a ritual summon? Come on. And they got rid of the promotion. I know it dropped. There's one free copy. I'm pretty sure they just gave a copy of Dark Rebellion. Like, on its own. Let's have a quick googly woogly. I mean, maybe not. It says here you get it from Phantoms of Rebellion or Odd Eye's Challenger. But I don't think either of those things is... I'm pretty sure I got one just like from a quest. It just like gave it to me at some point. Then again, maybe I did just get the structure deck and I forgot about it. Let's go, 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 go again. I'm enjoying this deck. When it doesn't brick, it feels very competent, right? Now, this deck doesn't blow your opponent out of nowhere. Like, this is a slow, methodical, like, defensive deck, I guess. The whole point of this deck is just to keep trying to put 2,500 bodies on the board. Obviously, you can blow your opponent out because Dragius is still Dragius. But the idea of this deck is that I'm going to try and have an okay body on the board all the time, as well as keep getting back life points. So good, I'm going to beat up the 7-year-old with a Fairy King real quick. Yeah, I mean, that's just an average Tuesday, mate. No one uses rituals anymore. Will you take that back? Drytron's powerful deck. I'm trying to think what like the best ritual deck. Like, because back in my day, rituals was like Demise King of Armageddon. Back in the old times. Well, I guess we're just going to go ahead and summon out our big boy. Activate his effect. That was what? Necros. God, what were the other, like, good ritual cards? I'm actually struggling to think now. Gishki was a ritual deck. Oh yeah, BLS. There you go, BLS. It's kind of a rogue fun deck in Master Duel, but in Duel Links, that thing's broken. I love that skill as well, how it just vomits a load of crap into your graveyard. It's so funny. Megalith. Yeah, Megalith. Gotta respect Megalith. Right, well, there goes my board. But our life point wise, we're fine. But let's see what happens there. The funniest one for me was Ritual Beasts. I think they're called. Being a fusion deck. And it was just like, why though? What have we got in here? We don't have any of them. Ah, we keep drawing these in the complete wrong orders. That's fine, I guess. We'll just summon out some guys. Do we still not have a Karibot as well? So we're not even like fully set up in our graveyard. No, we don't. Right. This is just game, right? Because we don't have another Psychic engrave. Teehee. He said nothing. Please say the thing. We go again. We're almost going to get to that 100 wins in King of Games. Well, 100 ranked wins on the second account, which is quite nice. It'll be nice to collect all the rewards. Try and get a nice kind of coffer of gems. Oh, that 6 win streaks crept up on us. I feel like we've been losing quite a lot today. Fortunately, D and Keto doesn't do a ton for me here. Although I'd rather have it out than Dragius on turn 1. I'll tell you what, let's spoil ourselves. Cannon in attack mode. We probably shouldn't be doing it, but screw it. Cannon in attack mode. Oh, how can we forget the most powerful ritual deck of all time? Hungry Burger. And then Blue Eyes, right? It's kind of a ritual deck. Chaos Max. Interesting. So his plan is to weaken me. We've got 2 dragons in grave, so as long as we can keep the 3rd dragon out of the graveyard. How many of these have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3. So if we activate our skill, we can put 1, 2 back in the deck. So now we only have 1 in there, which means this can clear this. This can clear this without really much care. Demise. Yeah, everyone remembers Demise. Demise was great. I remember taking a, what is it, Insect Demise deck to locals and doing really, really well with it. I think I made... I don't think I made top 2. I think I made top 4. Got knocked out in the semis. But it was very fun to play. Okay, you've weakened my Dragius. What's step 2 of the plan? Summon out your own Dragius again? Oh, it's Dark Magician. Goodbye, Dragius. My boy. Well, there's a bunch more high-level cards. This is a really tricky one. No matter how you look at this, he's got Phantom Bind down. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I kind of have to summon out Prima just to deal with Phantom Bind. We activate Boogie Master. We'll activate Prima. How many do we have? 1, 2. We only have 2. So we will go for the more damage. Hey, never underestimate the Keck Magician. Dark Magician also receiving more support in the physical roll rush game as well. He's actually getting... He just had a wave of support and he's getting more support in the future. Which should hopefully give him a little bit of a leg up. Because Blue Eyes has just got a glow up and it's doing really well. So we're hoping Dark Magician gets the same kind of treatment so it can actually be a decent deck. Okay. I mean, that's pretty good. So we'll summon. Activate the effect. Bring this back. More summon. Ah, I've just realised my issue, which is he's Yami rulered. That is a thing. Now the question is, how many Karibots do... Oh, we have a Karibot in Grave. Which means we just clear the other monsters. Let me pass. So we should have put this in defense mode. Other than that, we're pretty much fine. Maybe I should have kept Kimi Ruler. Precious, where does it go from here? Because he's still got to deal with both of my 2500 attack monsters. Oh, he's on Seven's Road as well. So he's on just a pile of shit then. He's got Dragia, Seven's Road, Yami Ruler, and Dark Magician in this deck. So it's just a pile. Okay. Why have you done this? Just emptying the hand? You know when you've got an 18 card graveyard and your Seven's Road is only 3000 attack, something's gone wrong. The other thing is that now he's got a 7's Road out and doesn't have a 25. Playing around Phantom Bind should be a lot easier. How many dragons do we have in graveyard? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We still have way too many dragons. 6 dragons in grave. Ugh. That's very awkward for us. So we're going to set these two. We're going to tribute them off. We're going to set these two. Then we're just going to go straight to battle and swing over this. And then pass. Let's see what he's got for us. We've gotten him down low enough that if he leaves anything in attack mode, we can just kind of kill him out of nowhere. Like anything that has 1900 or less attack. And our life points are too high for him to just try and kill us out of nowhere. And he scoops! Yeah, we could have tried to get more aggressive and tried to force out the Phantom Bind, but we really didn't need to. And I feel like that's where you could make a mistake and then just kind of lose out of nowhere. Let's go again. Alright, we're against the Yuga. So now, is this going to be another? Current win streak 7, damn. Again, these win streaks keep sneaking up on us. So what you got for us, Yuga? Dark Sorcerer? Okay, okay. Are we going to use which effect? That's very bold. Now the main issue here is I don't have a way to kill both of these unless I rip, like, Dragius. Oh, that is really not the card we wanted to see, but I suppose we can make it work. What I really wanted was another normal summonable monster. Unfortunately, now we're just going to have just one monster. Really sucks. We can bolster our life points a little bit, I suppose. And deal with Seven's Road. He's already used a lot of high-level cards, right? Like, looking at his graveyard, he's already gone through 3 of his boss monsters. Discards for the draw. Activates the recovery force now, which tells me he has nothing to deal with what I've got, so he's just digging. Okay. So I'm assuming this is the card he drew. It would make sense based on the fact nothing else he's playing is useful here. Fortunately, we are getting a little bit punished for our brick, but I guess it could always have been worse. There are so many hands that are just so good for us here. Why have we drawn Slugger when we already have Slugger? I think here we have to just do this. Activate the effect. Activate our skill, so that we hopefully don't die. Listen this back into the deck. Activate it. Go to battle, and then we just swing over both of these. Ah, Seven's Road Magician as well. The absolute best card he could have found. And a 15? Okay, we're just dead then, aren't we? Yeah. Oh, man. It's a shame. I mean, we basically just bricked, right? We had every single turn, we had to summon just a single monster and couldn't do anything. But it feels bad to lose to this pile of shit. Oh, that feels gross. The thing is, we still had 21 cards left in deck, and we saw over half of our tribute monsters. So, like, that's just the rush tax, right? Sometimes you're just going to get those kind of hands, and there's nothing you can do about it. Although, again, we still do have an overabundance of tribute monsters. We've only really got 1 more than average. So, I think we still just chalk that down to bad luck. Well, there's a non-starter. Japanese player Reef. Let's see what he's got for us. On the Gakuto. Now, is he actually going to be a Dark Celerity? I don't think we've actually played against a Dark Celerity today. This is a really good hand if we can draw a second tribute monster. Like a Dragius off top would be fantastic here. Which means we are guaranteed to not draw a Dragius. Oh my god, this might actually be a Dark Celerity deck. Dragius, Dragius, Dragius. You know, sometimes it just happens. The issue here is now that we want to weaken this, so we can't actually do our full combo. So I think we're better off just doing this. We always discard this though, right? There's no reason not to, because we're just going to get back to our hand. Summon, activate the effect. Take back Kanan. Tribute 2. Normal summon. Activate the effect of Dragius. Swing over. Get him for 25. Get him for 14. I mean, putting him down to 18 is pretty good. I'm quite happy with that for a turn 1 play. Celtic Guardian. Okay, okay. And Masaki. I feel like this is almost just going, like, too far on the roleplay. Go on, flip it over. You know you want to. Bonded Bowing. Let's see it. Oh, straight into Dark Arts. Okay. Still could do Bonded Bowing here. Tributes for Umigumi. Does use the effect. Very odd to do it now. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just go defense mode. Do we have... We do not have the other, so we might as well set this. And then there's no reason to hold this. So now it comes down to, does he Yamirula me again? Because that could get very problematic with 2 high levels in hand. Okay, Kimmy's fine. He might pierce here? Red medicine, what? Bro. You have pierce? I'm just going to use that. Oh, we do have the pierce. Okay, there we go. Man, if he double pierces, I'm just straight dead. Oh, he's in battle phase, okay. Choose my sleeves. Okay, we'll do that after this game. We might not be winning this game, which is a bit of a shame. But again, this deck does kind of just lose to Dark Arts to Celerity. We don't have the cards to play around it. So we summon, activate the effect, pitch to just weaken whatever. All set. Tribute 2. Activate our effect. Activate our skill. Activate this. Go to battle and just swing over this. Oh, he's even got Phantom Bind, which he drew last turn. I mean, again, it didn't save his monster. Dude, so many people on Red Medicine, I just don't get it. Yeah, I don't understand. It will be somewhat playable later when the Medicine deck comes out, but even then, it's a bit shaky. That's me and my 1 copy of Red Medicine, lol. Yeah, Red Medicine is really not ideal. Like, it's just a -1. Which in a game, especially in a simplified format, where what you really want to do is make sure you're always getting as many normal summons as possible, just like sets you back. Just not worth it. I'm not dead. I am now dead. So this is always going to be the negative of this deck, and it's the same problem that the other aggro deck had, right? Which is, if you're just playing the Prima Dragius deck, you get hard shit on by Dark Arts of Celerity. And this deck is basically the evolution of that, right? We're not playing all the cards that beat this deck. We're not playing Fire Golem. We're not playing Dragonic Pressure. We're not playing Gravity Press Dragon. We're not playing Seven's Road Magician. We're not playing Seven's Axel Road. There's just all of the cards that and skills that deal with Dragius, with Yamirula, is just not what this deck is playing. Which is why I'm actually interested to see if the Aqua Aggro deck does catch on. will that mean we see Dark Arts of Celerity come back into the meta? Because it's been falling and falling and falling as dragons and spellcasters have been rising. Oh, that's a hand, isn't it? That's 4 of our 5 light aqua normals. Fire Guardian. Again, Fire Guardian's another weird one. I don't really see the point of playing it. Is there a point in trying to kill them? Probably not, but I do kind of just want to get cards out of my hand, so we are going to go for it. No! Okay, I'm pretty sure I just swiped up, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. I'd have to watch a slow motion replay to see where that went. I mean, it's not the end of the world anyway. We've drawn a really crappy hand, so chances are we're not gonna be winning this game anyway. It's funny as well when we put 9 high-level monsters in our deck, which is almost a third of our deck, and yet we don't see any of them in our open. It's like, come on, what's going on? So we're not taking as much damage as we could have, which is, I guess, is fine. In a weird way, we actually took less damage because of that. And now they all come at once. So we'll summon. We'll summon. We'll activate. Discard. Weaken that. Tribute 2. Activate. Activate the skill. Put Seahorse and Kanan back in the deck. Activate Diankito. Go to battle. Swing over both of these. Which unfortunately is still not a great position to be in. I feel like there are so many combinations of cards that we draw where we are able to summon 2 tribute monsters every turn, and we keep like just finding the exact patterns that don't let us do it. Phoenix Dragon doesn't do a ton here. If he tributes both of these, then we might be in a bit of a weird predicament. He's on Bat Dragon, for God's sake. Or Dragon Bat. Let's see what he's got for us. Takes back the Fire Guardian. I suppose it was his best option. Maybe 2. So he did have Dragonic Slayer then. Okay. Summon uses that effect. It's another draw. Which means we're just dead, right? That outs that. 20. Yeah, we're just straight dead. I mean, yeah, we bricked. There's nothing you can really do if you brick like that, unfortunately. On the plus side, I think we've only lost 1 game today where we didn't brick. So, when we're not bricking, we've got like almost 100% win rate, which is pretty damn good. Oh, our opponent's on a 5-win streak. See if we can rip that away from him. He is playing Brain Dead Dragons, so we might be alright. This hand is really bad. Okay. I'd really like to not have Prima right now. I want to draw it late game, not in my open. I feel like that's Rush in a nutshell, though. You either brick or you draw properly and play the game. Yeah, but what should happen is you should, in an ideal world, both draw properly and play the game, and there'd be a lot of interaction and back and forth. But that just doesn't seem to be how it always ends up. This is a really awkward hand, because we don't have a third monster to summon, but we can't leave these in our hand. I want Canaan back in my hand, but that's not happening, so... Oh, I've just seen the line that would have been way better. Oh well. Too late for that. I think we do just set. Yeah, we had a way better play that we could have done. Getting rid of all of his monsters. Although, to be fair, opening both of our copies of Prima this early really sucks. Again, any other boss monster would have been great. Dragius obviously is perfect, but any of the 2500s is great. And the only two we find is the two Primas. It's like, no! But again, you know, shit happens. Let's see what he's got for us. Again, he's got 6 cards to work with. He is playing dragons, though, so he's always got extra cards to work with, right? If he draws a Slugger, he would have had access to the pitcher anyway. Oh, okay, he hasn't got anything. I mean, unfortunately, this is still not great for us. I mean, we have to get this out, right? We can't leave it. Also means we can now summon this. We'll go for the 1000. Let's see if he's got another 14 down. He does not. Now we have access to 3 attackers, and we can start boosting our life points if he just keeps playing passively. Do we have Pitcher and Grave? We do. We have 2. Alright, Triad Drago draws a card. Where are we going with this, though? You have no high levels in Grave, so Phoenix Dragon doesn't do anything. It's just there to be tributed. Okay, he's got the Bunker Strike, so we can use Bunker Effect to set up the hand and potentially set up the next turn. He also, that means, can easily out one of my monsters, but he cannot out Prima at the moment. He just milled the Dragius, which is pretty good, especially since that means a Dragius and a Phoenix Dragon are already in the graveyard. It means the chances he has a Dragius or Phoenix Dragon in hand should be kind of low. Okay, he's tributing both then. What's he getting out? Slayer, a second Bunker, or Fire Guardian. I mean, this does out my whole board now, so he's managed that. Now, we are all set up to summon out 2 tribute monsters. We just need to draw 2 tribute monsters. We've already gone through 3, which means we still have 6 left in the deck. Which means there's a 1 in 3 chance we get it. We're drawing 3 cards, so one of them should be a tribute monster. There we go. The issue here is we cannot clear all of this. No matter what we do, because we need to draw more. Right, we'll summon. Activate the effect. Bring this back. Then I guess we'll summon. Actually, We're going to go for this. For its effect, bring this back. Tribute 2. Activate the effect. Discard Lamoon back to the grave. I should set this one. Keep this in hand. Swing over this. And we are going to crash into this. I just want him to have less resources. Then we'll pass. We're on 71, so we're not in any danger of actually dying. Summons 2. Tributes both. Probably for another Bunker Strike. Is there a second bunker? Activate Bunker Strike effect. Let's see what he's got. Putting cards back on top again. Summons that Dragorite. And tributes for another Fire Guardian. Okay. Uses Resonance. I haven't found a single Dragius yet, and when I do, I can pop off and start murdering this guy's board. Why would you not boost? That's weird. Like he just missed out on some damage there. But maybe it didn't matter. No, it totally mattered. It was only 200 damage, but still. Where are my Dragius at, yo? Like, where are the boys at? I mean, again, we can't clear multiples because we don't have our bloody Dragius, or we're not seeing multiple high-level monsters. So... I mean, I guess we just go for Slugger, right? Activate Slugger. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Activate the effect. Pitch gain 1000. Set. Activate our skill. And we'll put both of these. Oh, we can't put both. We'll put one big monster, one seahorse. Activate again. Go to battle, swing over. Pass turn. I'd really like to see my Dragius, so I can actually clear this board, rather than having to just kind of passively trade back and forth. I mean, on the plus side, our life points are fantastic right now. All 3 of our Dragius in the bottom 13 cards, man. Feels bad. The worst part is we're going to draw like all 3 out at once and just not be able to do anything with them. Oh, that's annoying as hell. What is he bringing back? If he brings back his Dragius, that's really annoying. But if he doesn't have an Earth... Okay, he's bringing back Bunker Strike. Bunker Strike's kind of fine. I think it's the lesser of 2 evils. Because now to summon it, he has to get rid of one of his level 6s. And does he even run a 3rd Fire Dragon? And does he have access to it right now? That is now, though, all 3 of his Limit 3's gone. So no more Phoenix Dragon, no more Dragius. Where are we going with this is the question. Okay. 3 cards to the top of the deck. Dragonic Resonance. I mean, you could still summon after this. There's no way you don't summon, right? Or are you that worried about decking out that you're just not going to summon cards? What on earth? You've left me with a card. And I still haven't drawn 2 tribute monsters in 1 turn, for God's sake. I can clear his board, at least. I don't even want to pay the 500 life points for that, really. We'll just summon. Tribute 2. Normal both of these. Activate. Watch me Milodragius. Oh, we called it. Like a psychic. Which means we now only have 1 Dragius left in our deck. What do we have left? Do we have Summon Skull still? We do. How many D&Qs do we have left in deck? 1. So we have 1 D&Keto, 1 Summon Skull, and 1 Dragius left in our 7-card deck. Let's see what he's got for us. Yeah, here's the Slayer finally. Is this his last boss monster? He's only used 2 Bunker Strikes. So if he has a 3rd, he still has it in his deck or hand. How many Gravity Presses he used? 1. Only the 1. So again, it depends how many Gravity Presses be on. Because he's already on 2 Fire Guardian. He's using Resonance? Brother in Christ, you're gonna be dead next turn. He's so worried about decking out that he's just holding on to these cards. I forgot about Kimirula. I mean, we just win, right? We'll activate Carrier. Bring this back. We'll pitch. To weaken this. Do I even need to do anything else? We want to summon out all of these 3. Tribute, tribute. Yeah, so... Yeah, this is what happens when you hoard cards in your hand because you don't want to deck out. Is you just die. Sorry, bro. Unironically, a pretty fun game. Like, not finding Dragius made that game very kind of slow and methodical. I'm gonna save that one, you know. I like that one. Now we just go again. Alright, let's see what our opponent has for us this game. It's another Gavin. So again, Dark Arts of Celerity does really hurt our deck. Not the greatest. Do we just summon out D and Keto here? Part of me wants to. I like having something that they have to answer. We're just going to put both of these in defense. Then we'll pass. And knowing how this deck's been going, I would just draw 2 more tribute monsters next turn and just end up with 3 in hand. Okay, summon Skull. And then Pierce. And then, what on earth are you doing, bro? What is happening right now? Bro, you need help. Pitch to weaken. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Normal summon. Activate the effect. Oh, and he's gone. Well, you know, sometimes you just get games like that. Sure. Yeah, overall, I don't know if I'd take this deck to a tournament. I think it's too inconsistent. Like, it high rolls pretty well, but I don't think it low rolls particularly well. Well, that's a hand. We're against Kled as well. Don't know how we beat Kled. Ah, it's just that easy. It's just that easy. Well, I guess we're just getting that win streak up. It's too bad we don't get any bonuses for getting a win streak. Alec from France playing Luke. Okay, not the best opening hand, but we can definitely do stuff with this. Such as summon out a 2500 attack monster. And not losing our Dragius, I guess. Which is, you know, it's not great, but it's better than nothing, right? I'd rather not, like, throw my Dragius out to die. We can lose the silly Horseman man instead. I wish people would throw games whenever I play ranked like that. I mean, they don't tend to throw it when you're climbing ranked. They throw it when you're in King of Games and it doesn't matter. You're gonna tribute? There we go. Bubba Bunker. So our graveyard is pretty set up. If we find a pitcher or a seahorse carrier or a Karibot, we're good to do a double tribute summon. Okay, so it goes to the 1500 damage. As long as we don't brick, we should be in a really good position here. You know, sometimes it just be like that, I guess. I mean, if I summon, I'm dead. Because he'll just kill it. If he doesn't straight up kill me, I'll only get 1 draw next turn. So all of these cards are useless. If I don't summon it, I'm dead on board. So we're just going to scoop it up. Man, we had such a good setup. And we drew 3 Dinkito. That's a shame. That's such a shame. That's such a shame. But, you know, shit happens. Cannot win them all. Sometimes we're just going to brick. Oh, Japanese player. Again on Luke, because everyone who plays this game just plays dragons because they don't have to turn their brain on to play it. That's the secret. To be fair, it's a very valid strategy if you're playing ranked, right? You don't want to be playing a very, very complicated deck if you're playing to grind it out for multiple hours in the same day. Unfortunately, this is a very poor hand, so we will simply be emptying it as best we can. So again, we got a third of our tribute monsters in the first hand. Go, D and Keto. Yeah. Last turn. Hey, Siggy, how's it going? Have you come to hang out with us playing our Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links? Oh, tributes out for Dragonic Slayer. That's not bad. Not too shady, how are you? Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We've had a pretty good day of grinding out. We've been chatting quite a lot about Rush Duel and different formats and stuff of Yu-Gi-Oh! And we're probably about to lose this game because we have drawn very, very badly. We opened 3 high-level cards, which means we couldn't really do anything. We want to open like 1, maybe 2 high-level cards. That's kind of the sweet spot. Man, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Will always have a place in my heart for like just nostalgic reasons. Even if, you know, I am actively playing it at the same time. We have nothing to work with here. I mean, I guess we do what we can, which is summon out everything. And we will even activate our skill to put 2 cards back into our deck and gain 1,000 life points. Unfortunately, this does not take us out of the danger zone, which is very scary. But we do what we can. We have to clear the Fire Guardian because with Dragonic Pressure, he can boost up to 26, which is bigger than 25. Doing it this way round, hopefully he can't out both without using Dragonic Pressure, which looks like he's not going to be using because he would have done it before he summoned. Okay. Well, Slayer means you can out one of my guys. You would need a second Slayer or Bunker Strike to actually out both of them. There's Slayer. Set. Oh, don't have a bunker. Oh god, he's gonna have a bunker. Yeah, here it is. Oh, it's Dragius. That's better for me. So we're gonna lose both of our guys, but he's gonna lose his Dragius, and I'm only gonna lose 300 life points. Which means there's a chance. Double Dragius, okay. What do we have in Grave? We have no Slugger, so using you doesn't matter. So we'll summon. I think we will just get greedy and maintain hand, because he shouldn't have Dragonic Phantom Bind, because it didn't come up last turn. So unless he toggled off, he shouldn't have it. Which he does not. We get to put him down to 13, which is pretty good. But we're still a Dragonic Resonance away from losing the game. With 2 face down cards, they should both be Dragonic Resonance. But all he needs is any 3 dragons and we pretty much lose. How has he still not got... I'm so confused as to what his face downs are. I can't remember any of the cards except for Exodia. I mean, everyone loves Exodia, right? I assume you watched the show as a kid? That's what most people, you know, kind of know it all from. Activates Dragonic Resonance, gets the boost, clears my board. Yeah, and traded cards. Yeah, it was one of those things where it was like big in schools, like right when it came out. And like everyone kind of knew it, everyone played it a little bit, and everyone watched the show. Alright, summon out Seahorse. Activate Seahorse. Bring back Kanan. We're doing 1, 2, tribute, summon, discard. Okay, so... Summon, activate the effect, discard, weaken. I'm going to summon, activate the effect, bring this back. I'm going to tribute 2. We're going to activate, and he's going to scoop. Nice. I don't know how we won that, but we did. And you know what? We take those. Oh, and that is going to be 3 o'clock. So that is going to be the end of the stream. Although we have just got to 98 wins, so we'll have to get the other 2 later on. But we are so close to getting our final reward, or our final, I guess, non-repeating reward of our ultra rare ticket. But things have been going pretty well. We keep forgetting to turn our camera back on there as well. But we've had quite a successful stream, had a lovely time chatting to so many of you, and we've had a lot of wins. Again, when we weren't bricking, we won, I think, every single game except 1, so we're quite happy with how this deck turned out. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone that watched and everyone that followed or subscribed. We had Bottlerworks with the 2nd month of subscription. We had Leviathan with a follow, Grand Harrier, British Honda, Quantum Cubes, and D-Naught. So thank you all so much. We will be streaming again. So our next scheduled stream will be Thursday. So same time on Thursday. So that will be the 12 till 3 BST. But we might be streaming tomorrow. We do have something planned. But I'm not sure what time that will be. It might be like really late in the day. So we'll see what happens. Either way, I'll be recording it. So it might just be a video, but it might end up being something that gets streamed. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.